Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Connecting Life podcast. I'm your host, Diana Boskma, and I'm here to help you connect the dots of life so that you can live your best life in a healthy and fulfilling way. Today, I'm talking with Anna Amoroso. She's a good friend of mine. She's also a certified life coach and just overall an amazing human being. Anna lives in Italy, and she's been coaching for over 5 years now. She mainly helps women, but sometimes also men, achieve their dreams. Her clients come from all over the world, but she only coaches in English as she loves the English language. So today, Anna and I will have a conversation about growth and personal development. So, welcome. Would you like to share what started you off in personal development and growth? Because I think that's been a few years, as for most of us.
Yes. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, Diana, for having me. Started my growth was, how would you call it? A midlife crisis or something like that?
We can call that.
Yeah. It was basically in 2020 when COVID came, everything stopped, and I was forced to look at my life. So my daughter was growing up and she was my purpose at that time. And obviously I didn't feel like she needed me as much as before. I hated the job I was in. And I thought, is this really what it is? Like, am I going to live my life like this for the rest of my life? And I was like, no, I need to do something. But I didn't know what the hell, because, having no university degrees or anything like that. And I was like, what can I do? And it was really, really difficult for me to find a job. There's many, how can I say, societal norms here. Like, either, you don't have that degree, you don't have that certification, you're too old, whatever. And so, right.
Yep.
So what happened was that, searching and trying to understand and then whatever, then I discovered personal growth and, personal development. And I didn't even know this thing existed really. So for me, it was like a whole new world, and it was so exciting and scary and all that, but that's how it all started, basically. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. The funny thing is that I've heard that many times, that in those months of all of a sudden the world stopping, people had to say, oh, now what? And they had a chance to think and a chance to look at what their life had been. And then they had to say, oh, but I want something.
yeah,
Fill in the blank, because many people changed a lot in their lives at that point. It was all over the newspapers here in the UK, even how so many divorces were all of a sudden happening. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, understandable to a certain extent. So yes, personal development is for me a very wide topic, because there's so many things that fit into that. So for me, it's been an ongoing thing throughout my life. Phases where it was more, phases where it was less, but it's always kind of been there. And for me, it always included also some physical things like somatic movement, breath work, and also meditation type of things, but also the thought processes about, there's so many ways of working with your thought processes that I've found it so fascinating. There's many things that I've come across over the years, and all have been useful in a variety of ways. So yeah, it's been quite the journey to get to know me, because that's what I feel it was mostly about, getting to know myself at a deeper level instead of at the surface level. So how would you describe that for you? Were there things that stood out? Like, I know for myself, breath work and somatic movement, that stood out because that actually helped me relax in ways that I hadn't been able to do before. Do you have anything that stands out for you?
So for me, what it really stood out was, it was like when I discovered personal development, it was sort of like, I would say, an awakening in a way, because it was like a veil just fell off my eyes, my face, right? I was like, oh my God. For me, it was like, you mean I can actually change? Like, I actually have a choice in my life. I have agency, I have control, I can, even change my brain, basically, right?
Yeah.
For me, the growth mindset thing, it was like, what is this? What is this? I never heard of this. And I realized by reading, what is a growth mindset. So it's basically the attitude, the decisions that you make, and how you speak about yourself, or how you, whatever. You actually can do something with your life. It's not like, I was convinced that, okay, I was born in this family, I was born like this, I'm just destined to have whatever job I can find, just to, get along in my life. And there's like, no, it's not like that. I can actually decide. I have the power to decide what I want to do in my life. And I swear, for me, it was just like, when they say you're living in autopilot, that's it. I didn't even know that I had I could go for a different reality. It's so strange. So learning about the growth mindset, it was like, wow, oh my God. It was really that. And then everything else, like, the way you speak to yourself, the way your brain works. Oh my God, so many things that can empower you. Right?
Yeah, I had, for me, there was one book that still is one of my favorite books, and that's The Four Agreements. And in that, there's the chapter about the domestication of human beings. And that was so eye-opening for me, because I had to say, okay, so I have all these opinions, but are they really mine? So I started questioning so much, because the things that I'd grown up with were my normal, but were they really mine, or were they the things that I was just taught?
Yeah.
And the part where he in that book talks about the paradox, where you will, at school you have certain rules, at home you have certain rules, with the scouting you have other rules, with the choir, whatever you all do, doesn't really matter. There's rules different everywhere, but all of them are true, even if they're contradictory. And so we grow up with that idea of that's all true, but also that means that you're constantly having to adjust to what others want from you. And it was just, for me, and even still now, I have read the book multiple times, and still every time I read it again, I get more out of it. And it's been really, really eye-opening to realize that, the way I grew up, and everybody grows up, we're all told who we are, because from the moment you're born, you're told that you're either smart or beautiful, or whatever they tell you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And those opinions we stick to, whether they're true or not. And then questioning that is an interesting journey.
Yes, it is. Excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. You obviously, when you're little, you don't have any awareness of yourself, so you believe whatever comes to you, whatever people say to you, whatever norms there are in society, whatever rules or whatever, and you just accept everything, like, okay, that must be the way it is, right? And you can go your whole life believing that, but when you bump into self-development and all that, and you start questioning everything, and it's like, do I want to believe that? Do I want that to be my rule? Do I want, is that like how people describe me, or how I thought about myself. Is that really true? You know,
Yep.
all these questions come up, and as you say, you get to know yourself a lot better, understand really who you want to be, who you want to become, and by your own rules.
Mm-hmm.
And you can heal so many things through that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. The fact that you can choose who you want to be, because that was one thing that I never thought I could. I always had this thing of this is how I am, I'm stuck with that. And then learning that actually it's just a habit. Just a habit sounds a bit dismissive maybe, but it is a habit. And it may not be easy to fix, because for some people it really takes a lot of effort. I've had with certain habits of mine that it really took quite some effort to change them, but it was a habit. It wasn't like I had no choice in the matter, so I could change them. And yes, it was small steps, but it did work out in the long run. And that's the one thing as well that really hit me. And there's a couple of books about that. And the one that right now comes to mind is Personality Isn't Permanent, where it's talking about if you want to be this, you choose that. That's literally a choice. It's nothing else. It's a choice of this is me. And having read that, it was this thing of, oh, this is not something I've been given. So between that domestication chapter in the 4 Agreements and learning that I have all sorts of choices, that I can pick and choose anything, that was baffling for a while. It really had this thing lost in my head, as in, now what? Because everything I knew is kind of not true, but what is?
Yeah. And that's the thing we were like discussing just before, that like the more you know and the more you think you don't know anything really. Right? It's like, oh my God, I don't know anything.
Yeah, for sure. Regularly had that it's like, oh, this is different than what I thought I knew. Okay, I know nothing. Let's start over again. And it's always been cool, to be fair. There's always been more than I've learned. There was another thing that we talked a little bit about before I started the recording, and that was the traps that people can get into at the beginning of their journey into personal development. What are a few things where you think, yeah, that was not a great bit. That was kind of a trap that I got stuck in that didn't bring me anything. Anything you want to share on that?
Yeah, to me it's more about self-perception. So if you obviously get into personal development because you think, something's got to change. Maybe I can learn something that can bring me, in a different direction or whatever. But for me, for example, at that time, because I had that perception of me, I got into it, and it was coming from this energy of fixing myself. There's something wrong with me, if I got to this point, is because I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable enough. And going in that trajectory is like, you're never gonna finish. I mean, you're never gonna finish anyway, because it's a life journey, to learn about yourself and who you can become and whatever. But if you come from the energy of, oh my God, I'm a wreck, basically, it's like, I have no hope or whatever, it's gonna be whatever people say, you're gonna believe it, and you're gonna think, oh, okay, I haven't tried that, then let's go that way, because there's something missing in me. Whether if you come from the space of, what if there's nothing wrong with me at all? I'm already whole and I want to improve myself. That's a whole different way of going down that journey.
Definitely. Because I started with there's so much wrong with me perspective and wanting to fix myself. And it's not been an easy journey, because the focus on there's something wrong with me, constantly trying to fix and looking for the next thing that was wrong, it didn't help. Well, I did grow, But
Yeah.
changing my mind on that part is, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay as I am. I'm whole. Because especially when I sit here right now, I'm okay. There's not really, I'm okay. And from that perspective, then as in, where do I want to grow? God gave me a completely different journey than because the fixing myself was more of a frantic thing, as in, I have to do this as quickly as possible because otherwise I'll never fill in the blank, because it doesn't really matter what never would be the thing. But it's this, I'm okay. Everything's fine. I can grow in this direction. Okay, so I'm going to look into this and I'm going to see what I can do there. And that gave so much more peace. So yeah, that was definitely a tricky bit of the journey initially.
Yes, it is. It is. Because you come from, this desperate energy. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And,
yes.
well, it's horrible. You feel, it's like you should feel better, but in a way you feel worse. Like the more you learn and the more you see all these amazing people, doing things in the world and whatever, and you're always comparing yourself. Oh, it's just not good. No.
Yeah, the comparing bit didn't help now.
No.
They are in such a better place. Why am I not there? What did I do wrong? Yeah, it didn't help.
Yes.
But they also, they've grown into that. Let me see how far I could get into that. It's just a different frame of mind, but using people more as a others who are doing better as a stepping stone of, I can do that too. Because they're not better than me or anything. But when I see them as being better, more whole or whatever, then it becomes unattainable. It becomes so difficult to even achieve what they're doing. But then many of these people, when you actually end up talking to them in more depth, they have their struggles as well. It's that one thing in their life went really good. So therefore, that's how you see them then, is in just that part, not the other bits. I know a few people who do financially really well. That doesn't mean they do very well in other areas of their lives, because some people are also quite lonely and don't want to be that way. So they would like to change in that. And thankfully, these people are people that have a growth mindset. So it's not something that holds them back. It's more of I'm aware that this is where I want to grow more in. This is where I want to achieve things in. Let's do it. So it's more just a project. We're going to go on a journey. We're going to have a nice journey, because that's the other part. When you see it as a nice journey instead of something that you have to get done to be better, then the fun goes out of it. But when it's this thing of, let's go on a journey, let's have a good party, let's get there, it's a different level.
Yeah, it is. It's like seeing, it's like taking it from, let's see, I want to discover my potential. Where can I get to, who can I become in this journey? Instead of looking at the things that I'm missing, what can I get out of this?
Yeah, what can I gain? What can I find? What can I discover? Yeah, when it becomes a journey of gaining and discovery, more of I'm missing. The fear of missing out doesn't help.
No.
I'm missing this, I'm missing that, I need to be here, I need to be there. It just gets stressful.
And also we just tend to see people, as they say, it's just a real, like you don't see behind the scenes of people really. And as you say, even the most successful people go through difficult situations, or they have their own demons, or whatever it is. And we don't know, they're successful, but what happened for when we didn't see them? Like, what were they doing? How were they thinking? How many times did they fail? And all this stuff that we don't see, right? Unless they tell you.
Generally, you don't know what goes on in people's worlds until you get into a deeper connection with them and you talk about it. So everybody that we see that's successful, what got them there? What did they have to do? It's not been an easy journey for pretty much anybody I know. Everybody that I've talked with that has some sort of success in whatever part of life it is, they've had their struggles in life. Maybe not on that journey to where they achieved whatever they achieved, but definitely in other parts of their lives. Because for everybody, life is a journey of ups and downs, and we have to just ride those waves of whatever is coming to us.
Yeah.
And,
That's life, and we are humans. Hello,
mm-hmm.
we are humans.
Yeah,
we forget that sometimes, right? We want to be perfect and successful and everything, but like life doesn't work like that. It's ups and downs. But it's important.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take those moments?
Yes.
How do you look at those moments? You know.
Yeah, the other part that comes to mind about this now is that many people focus only about what they see someone has created in their lives or sorted out in their lives or where they're successful. And then focusing on that means that it becomes very one-sided. There's nothing else that you want to see then. Because it's the, oh, they've done that. Why can't I do that? But you don't know that person. So it's just purely that picture of what they have done that you haven't. But there's someone, you also lose perspective of the things that you've done yourself when you just focus on what someone else has done. Because everyone has done really cool things in their lives, guaranteed. You know, you might not, because what we've done in our lives is, that's just, we've done that. So everybody can do it because we could do it. Everybody could do it is usually the idea. It's nothing special because I've done it. But then we look at someone else who probably has that same thought about what they've done, but we have not done that yet. So for us, it's really special what they've done. But they probably feel the same way as, nah, I've done it. Everybody can do it. Because for most people, it's this thing of, yeah, no, I'm not that special. But we all are. We are really, really very uniquely ourselves. So we are really special. And whatever we achieve, it is quite special because we've done it. And then we can talk about it. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, it is. That's another habit that we have, right? We only look at the things that we haven't done or we still haven't got, and we forget about all the things that it took to come to this point.
Yeah.
Like, that's sort of like, let's go. Like, I haven't done anything. I haven't achieved anything. Because you're always looking at where you're going and where you want to be, and you forget all the steps that you have already taken to get here, all of the lessons, or the ways in which you changed and got better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, I had a conversation with a client about that. That was really cool because I asked her what she thought she could achieve in the next 5 years. And the funny thing is, we're all then thinking about what we can do now. We're not thinking about what we can, because 5 years is quite some time and you can do a lot. So then I asked her, so what have you all achieved in the last 5 years? And initially it was, not that much. For me, it was, let's have a look at it, because I knew she had achieved a lot, like a lot. But for her, because she'd done it, it was no big deal because she'd done it. So it was, everybody could do that. But that wasn't true because she's done some really amazing things. And yeah, most people could do it if they would want to. But still, she did it and many people won't do it. So yeah, that looking back those 5 years was for her eye-opening. And then she had this thing, and that's without being conscious in my choices and planning my goals. What could I do if I would plan things out a bit better? So that's what we're working on now, planning the next years, see what she can do. And that's just being more aware, of what you can do and where you can go and what steps to take, which is, a growth mindset.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's cool.
Yeah, it was quite interesting to see, because every time I talk with people about what they want to do and what they've already done is normal. And what they're going to do, it's like, yes, what we have done was pretty cool. We can do that. But looking forward, it's so hard to even imagine what we can do in a year or 5 years. It's just really difficult. But yeah, there's a lot possible.
It is, yes. That's what that reminds me of the book, The Gap and the Gain.
Cool book, yeah.
Yeah, we always tend to look at the gap and then the gain.
Nope.
So it's just our brain. That's how it works, and you have to really be aware of. Oh, I'm doing this, right? I'm discounting everything I've done and everything I've learned and where I got. Yeah. So.
Yeah, literally that focusing on what didn't go right, instead of focusing what all did go right. Because it's really surprising to see what all went well when you start to really focus on what went well. And the other thing with that is that I found is when I focus more on what have I done, what has gone well, what results has that given, so all the positive bits, there's more of that coming. Because the more I focus on the good bits, the more I see the good bits, but also I have the feeling that more good bits happen instead of the focus on what I don't have and what didn't go well. So yeah, it's a journey. It's quite a journey to change that focus, because it is so habitual to focus on what didn't go right.
Yeah, I think a good thing is I think I started last year, and I basically had a jar, and whatever win I have, no matter what is a win for me, even if it's a small win, I write it on a piece of paper and I close it and I put it in that jar. So when you feel down or discouraged or whatever, it's good to go there and like, oh, well, let's see my win. Let's see what I learned, or let's see I took that step even if I was scared, or I got a new client, because otherwise you're always missing that bit and you're always feeling lack.
Yeah, lack's not a good feeling. Luck is a much better feeling. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, I enjoyed our conversation. I think we have come to a point where it's probably good to ask you, if someone wants to contact you, how can they do that?
Okay, they can contact me on LinkedIn. They can go and have a look at my website, and on there they can also directly book a gifted conversation with me. And what else? Yeah, you can leave my email there.
Cool.
All that. So.
All right. Awesome. Well, obviously, I will share the details in the description of the video so that people can just click on it. And then other than that, I want to thank you because I enjoyed our conversation. I hope you did too.
Yes.
So thank you very much for joining me today, and hopefully another time again. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
That was all, everybody. Bye-bye.